Hi, and welcome to ICAAR's June edition for our monthly podcast. It's great to be here. I'm Phil O'Brien, the president of ICAAR, and I'm here, as always, with Megan Flewellyn. Thank you so much for joining me, Megan. Appreciate it.
Phil.
We got a lot of great topics today, starting with Iowa's legal update around ADUs, or accessory dwelling units. We're going to touch on that a little bit. Highlights from the Realtor legislative meetings in D.C. Got to go to that. That was fun. Did you have a good time?
Great time.
It was great. And then fun events like Toast to Your New Career and our summer meetings coming up, and a big win with our bags tournament. That was a fantastic tournament, big turnout, raised a ton of money, and it was awesome. So we'll get into that. But first and foremost, let's talk about those ADUs.
Yes.
Megan, you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, this is a bill that we've kind of talked about a little bit on this podcast earlier in the year. It's a bill that at the state level, we're watching throughout that legislative session. It did pass there in the spring at the end of session, but now we're coming up to when it is coming into effect, and that is going to be July 1st.
Perfect. And this basically is a state law that states that cities and counties cannot put restrictions on ADUs in the sense that they can't allow a person not to do that, correct? There's going to be some regulations that they could apply, like if there's a historical district or, HOAs still can mandate that they don't have them, but this is a great addition to the Iowa laws. It's going to help with people like generational living. AARP just did a class yesterday. So that was fun to listen to all the different, insights about the law, how it came about. And yeah, it's just a great addition to our area. So.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, we did a training the other day. And so bringing in representatives from AARP of Iowa to speak on the bill, since they were the headlining sponsors of that bill. We were also able to hear from a local builder with ADU experience to kind of talk about how it's worked in the past.
Yep.
But we had a great turnout. We had more than just realtors and home builders attend. We also had a lot of representatives from different municipalities.
Yep.
So whether that was, someone sitting on city council, we had a mayor there, we had some planning and zoning commission officials, and we even had a couple legislators join us.
No, there was like over 60 people.
Yeah, it was a really great turnout for the training.
Yeah, so it's a great addition. And I think, so I would say if you're thinking about it, if you're, you've got the room for it, because again, you got to still abide by setbacks and zoning and things along those lines. But if you're thinking about maybe a carriage house or just a separate dwelling altogether, or a larger addition that allows for a completely separate living quarters, talk to your agent, talk to a realtor, and see what they can do to help you out and point you in the right direction.
That's exactly right.
Let's get into the realtor legislative meetings. This year, we went to D.C. It was yourself, me, Jared, Ruth, Kayla Fisher, and a whole other, we had over 60 people from the state of Iowa there, in some capacity, kind of helping out and saying their piece and trying to get different bills moved forward and different ideas put forth. So how was your experience?
This was a great experience. We often hear that of members that do attend the Realtor legislative meetings, that it's one of their favorite conferences, their favorite national trips of the year. I definitely agree. It's just a great opportunity to see, like you said, we had 60 Iowa realtors, and then you're meeting up with a whole cohort of realtors from across the country.
Yeah.
And when you're all together in a room, that's quite a show to our legislators of just the impact that realtors have. And we're able to speak very eloquently to the bills and the issues that matter in our industry.
Yeah.
No,
we always were talking about private property rights. That's always a big push when we go up there. We also talked about the housing supply with new construction, trying to get that pushed up a little bit. And we also talked about support for self-employment professionals. That's, we're self-employed. So any benefits we can get to help out with like insurance or things along those lines, we're always there to kind of talk about that. And then one of the other big things that we spoke about was, the capital gains tax. Right now there's an exemption for, if you're single, $250,000. And if you're partners, then it's $500,000. So anything above that, you can get taxed on. And what we're finding out is that hasn't been touched since, I think, was it 97?
Yeah.
Or 1997, like that has been static. And we're really trying to make a push to tie that into inflation and get that bumped up, a $750 for single and $1 million for partnership. So that should help get people selling their houses that are sitting there not wanting to get taxed, and it should help with the supply. So another big push there. But met with Senator Grassley, and then Representative Miller Meeks. She was not there, but the staff was, and it was great to talk to them as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add on that trip?
No, just that we had a great time, everything that you said. And we met with Grassley, we met with the staff of Miller Meeks, and then we also had members that overlap more with Cedar Rapids, that met with Ashley Hinson, and just all across the state, you had realtors connecting with representatives and senators.
No, personally, it's one of my favorite trips. You know, it's one of those when I got into leadership and I went there for the first time. I think this was like my third time. It was just eye-opening to see how everything works behind the scenes and to see how a lot of the, you know, representatives from both sides of the aisle do work together to get things done. So, yeah. Next, this is one of my favorites. You know, not that DC wasn't fun. The Bags Tournament.
Yes, let's pivot local.
Yes, exactly. So how did that go?
Oh my goodness, we had an amazing YPN Bags Tournament. Every year, we're like, it's one of our biggest of events. It's one of the most fun, but every year it still continually grows and grows somehow. So yeah, it was beautiful weather. We had a sold out tournament bracket, had to turn away, you know, walk-ins at the door. And this year we were raising funds for the United Action of Youth and their transitional living program. And we raised a record-breaking amount of money for them.
Yeah, almost $12,000.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a big highlight. We had some great donors and just the entry fees and everything like that. We raised a lot of good money. And Jonathan Fell, again, knocked it out of the park. He did a great job putting that together. He was a great host and made it fun, made it lively. So big shout out to Jonathan. Thank you so much for all the work you did with that and the committee that went along with it. Great job. So I liked it. I made it to the final four, but then you know, I just couldn't pull off the next round. So
yeah,
I'm going to blame Paul Park. He couldn't carry the team, so it was his fault.
You tried.
I tried.
Team, we tried.
No, Paul's much better than I am. But moving on, we've got ICAAR hosting school supply drive. Tell me about that.
Yes. So Bags Tournament was our last month. How are we getting involved in the community?
Sure.
Now we're looking forward of what next are we going to do in the community? So ICAAR is working to put together a school supplies drive. Really what we're doing is we're just collecting supplies to support a larger event, which is the Ready, Set, School event. And that's hosted by the United Way of Johnson and Washington County, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Johnson County, the Salvation Army, and then also the neighborhood centers of Johnson County. So you have all of these entities that come together and they put together a very like comprehensive school getting ready event where they're giving out school supplies, they're giving you haircuts, dental exams, vaccines, whatever you need to get your kid ready to get back to school this fall. So
that's a lot more comprehensive than I remember when I was a kid. It was just like crayons and pencils and some paper and that was it. But this is vaccines and haircuts.
This is a much bigger thing. Wow. So we're helping in a small capacity. We are just collecting school supplies.
So how does that work? Can people request a box for their office? Is it just brokerages or is it any office, any organization that can ask for that?
Yeah, so you'll be hearing information soon, but our goal is to have a collection box at every single brokerage that wants one. So a community outreach member will be reaching out, or if you're seeing this and haven't heard anything, just reach out to us at ICAAR. We'd love to have a donation box at each brokerage office. We'll have one at ICAAR as well.
So what can we expect for the time frame for this?
Yes. So boxes are going to be going out here in the next week. Right now we're filming this mid-June. And then we're going to be collecting all month of July. And we'll pick those up the very last week of July. So we'll collect all month long, turn it around to United Way. And then their event is going to be on August 15th and 16th. So if you're interested in attending the event or volunteering, I know they need some like hands-on volunteers that day. More information is going to be directly on the United Way's website.
Perfect. And we're looking for the school supplies, pencils, crayons. What are crayons up to these days? Like,
oh my
gosh. Box of like 124
They talk about eggs. They should talk about crayons.
Yeah, they're really packing in those colors. Good for them. So another fun event we get through YPN is Toast to Your New Career. That's going to be Thursday, June 26th, 3 to 5 p.m. And it's kind of a happy hour style?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is an event where it's very casual. It's low key. We have drinks available. We have appetizers available. And we just want you to come out and hang out with us and meet ICAAR's newest members.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself.
That's well attended. I've been to several of those. It's always a fun time. Just mingle around and chat with people. So it's going to be, we can talk about, the boxes. We can tell them to get boxes in their brokerages.
Exactly.
Great. Rolling into the next event, we've got ICAAR's annual golf outing. And this is a great time to go out and meet all your fellow realtors and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. So what's the details on this one?
Yes. So we'll be back at Finkbine Golf Course this year. It's going to be September 4th, which I know sounds far away, but it's that first week of September. And so we're not too far away from like beginning. And so here, July 1st, that's going to be when all of the whole sponsorship opportunities open up.
Perfect. And then when can people start signing up?
That will be 1 month later. So July 1st, whole sponsorships, August 1st, team registration, September 4th, the actual event.
Perfect. And that's $250 to sponsor a whole. And what's a team registration?
$400.
$400. Perfect.
So both of those are same price as last year.
Yeah, that's great. No, it's a fun time. And September 4th, summer's already flying by. So that's going to come up pretty quick.
And I think that's leading up into the Iowa State football weekend. So if you're looking for just an opportunity to kind of
take the week
mentally
off.
check out on a Thursday, join us on the golf course.
Perfect. Next on our list, we have the Iowa Realtors summer meetings. What do people need to know about this?
Yes, they're coming up soon. They are in Okoboji, Iowa again this summer. And this is something that any ICAAR members, Realtor members across the state are able to register and come check out the summer meetings.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit of a drive, but I also think it's a really great opportunity for them to kind of see behind the scenes on the state level. If you want to talk about your experience, getting to listen into committee meetings, things like that.
Yeah, no, and it's a great destination. It's worth the drive.
It
Lake
is.
Okoboji's nice. And yeah, it's a great way to connect with, like you said, realtors across the state. And I always found these conversations are great because you really get some insights on how their associations are going, maybe some tips and tricks that we can bring to our association and vice versa. So, yeah.
So that'll be July 14th and 15th.
Perfect. No, great little getaway. And it's always a fun time. Well, we really covered a lot, even though it seemed pretty quick. We rolled through that. But what are some of the key points that you want people to take away from this?
Yes. It is summer. We're busy, but we're keeping things going here at ICAAR. So thank you for everyone who's been participating so far. Moving forward, please help us collect that school supplies drive all July. And we hope to see you at Toast to Your New Career on June 26th at The View.
And where can they check out all the other ICAAR events, classes, things like that?
Yes, for anything we've talked about today and more, just head to icaar.org. You can register, see more info, all of that good stuff.
Perfect. And as always, thank you for joining us here. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube. Please click like and subscribe and tune in next time. Thanks.